Before we get started with episode 58, I do want to point out that there is a huge level of irony, or maybe it's jinxing it, that happened when Justin and I talk about the oh shit moment. So, more to come on that when you stay tuned for episode 58. Welcome to the Classroom Brew podcast. Think about comedians in cars getting coffee, but the teacher version with beer. Previously on Classroom Brew.
It's to the point now in which how you should want it. You just set up certain stuff and they already know what to do. Like they already know what they got to do because they've been doing it so long. Last year we weren't going to get that though. Not from the group we had. The no shows, come this time, don't come. We weren't going to get that from them.
There's so many teachers, like when last year was ending and then like I would see them during the summer, they're like, I don't think this team's going to happen. Like they really were doubting it. So that first week those first 2 or 3 weeks, like before the school year started, the level of pride, like we got new uniforms, the new helmets and all that, like restarting this program. But when you look at it, sure, like, and I'll bleep his last name, but and I like, sure, we would pick up the occasional player or two, but really you were the one that were going around, like you'd pick up 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 guys sometimes per day, just to get them to practice. So that's really like the physical labor that you were going through to get that done was insane. Because like you don't really realize, like if you don't drive them, especially like someone like Ray, where he lives like, was that 115th or something like that? He's not going to come, which is all weird.
And it's crazy. Like it is this generation. I don't know what the hell happened with them, but unfortunately they all entitled.
Sure.
Yeah, they all soft. They think everything should be handed to them, literally. They should stand there, they should put their hands out, and they should hope somebody get them a plate. And they should have all the food that they want on it.
Right.
They truly believe that. And it's sad, because it's crazy, because in the real world, they're not going to get it like that. But yeah, I did all that because I knew for a fact that if I didn't, we would never have practice.
Right.
And it's sad, but I want to be able to get something accomplished. I want to be able to get something like, yeah, it was days I ain't want to.
probably most of them, right?
But like I said, I also know that, sadly, if I don't do it, we won't have our quarterback. We won't have our tight end. We won't have our linebacker. We won't have 2 corners. And they all use the same excuse. I ain't had no ride. Coach, I ain't come because I ain't had no ride. Oh, man, I couldn't come. I ain't had no... Like, it'll all be the same thing.
Right.
So I knew that would have happened unless I did it.
Right. Even though they know every single day we're going to have practice the same damn time.
Hey guys, it's Brian from the Lazy Teacher Podcast. Right now you're listening to a killer teacher pod. If you're digging what you're hearing now, you might also like the Lazy Teacher Podcast. We got tons of guests that come in. We're hitting topics of education, teaching, ranting, positive life choices. You're going to get a whole lot when you're checking in with the Lazy Teacher Podcast. Check out the show. We're on all the podcatchers: iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Music. Hit that search bar up with the Lazy Teacher Podcast. You're not going to regret it. It's always awesome to hear your feedback. Shoot me an email, Brian, BRIAN, at thelazyteacherpodcast.com. If you haven't called the voicemail line, now is a great time to do that. It's 619-TEACH-51. 619-TEACH-51. And don't forget to support all the teacher pods that are out there. Next time you're on your social media, check out #TeacherPods. You're going to love all the podcasts that we've grouped together. See ya!
Now, do you think when we go into, and granted, I don't know, if we can decide to keep, I hope he keeps you and I as the 2 assistant coaches, but are you hoping that by next summer, that's not going to be the case? You're not going to have to drive around, the entire south side of Chicago to go get players just to get to practice on time?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely like, I ain't doing that. I'm trying to make it where, like, we're having bus cars and kind of stuff like that.
Sure.
So they could get to and from school kind of thing, like how they got it now.
Right.
But yeah, legally, now we can't even do it.
Yeah, it's true. They made that new stipulation.
They don't want the kids in your personal cars.
Right.
But yeah, I'm trying to make it where we can set up something with the school where the kids have bus cars to and from. Because that's the main thing. The main thing is getting to and from school.
Yeah.
They'll practice. They just got to get there.
They almost have to when you think about it. Now that they've limited the transportation and it's during the summer, so these parents, they still got, work to go to and stuff like that. So, or even if we can come up with some sort of, like, we could always just front load and get a bunch of bus cards at the end of the year, like enough to like cover every player. But we could
that's what I'm actually doing.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
All right, that's good to know. You got 4 right there. But yeah, or even if we could figure out, like, if there's a few trustworthy parents.
Yeah.
And maybe they can, like, maybe their son's going to practice and then they could swing by or something like that.
And that was another thing that was real odd to me. Like,
no community of parents?
The kids don't say nothing. So most of them, I ain't gonna say most of them, but a lot of them, you'll be amazed how many live like within a 5-block radius.
Oh yeah. And
I got 3 parents out of the 5 blocks coming, opposed to them talking to each other. The kids like, hey, your mom pick you up, my mom pick me up. We live 2 blocks away from each other.
Right.
How about your mom do me, pick me up, and your mom drop us off, kind of, one of those things. But they all, when I talk to them about that, it's like they all shy or something. Like they scared to, because I told them, like, it was a time I will tell them, like, they'd be like, yeah, coach, can I get a ride? I'd be like, hey, dude, he's going your way. Go ask him, ask him to ask his mom. Or you can ask his mom, excuse me, ma'am,
Sure.
I live 2 blocks from y'all. Can you drop me off at the house? But I don't know if they was just shy or scared to do it. But I thought it was so crazy because, like, I told them, if y'all, that's what I mean by the brotherhood part. Like, y'all brothers, make sure your brother get home.
Right.
So if you know
safely home.
Right.
Too.
If you know for a fact he lived 2 blocks from you, then when you get in the car, mom, can you take, Ryan home kind of thing. I mean, most parents, they'll say yeah. Because, they picking you up from practice, they'll take the kid home. Me personally, I ain't never saw, no, I'm not taking him home. Most of them, oh, yeah, come on, Ryan, let's go. Like I said, you live 2-3 blocks away.
Right, well, especially because we know they're playing those damn video games with each other till like all 2
night.
in the morning.
Right,
Like,
they play
Jesus.
that all night. So that's why I just told them, like, man, y'all need to actually start talking to each other, link up. Say, hey, man, if my mom take us to practice, can your mom come get us from practice? Just little stuff like that. So hopefully they get strong enough to the point that they actually could do that next year, because that'd be very helpful, because every day after practice, though, we hear parents coming all the time. But like I said, there's so many parents coming from the same neighborhood that they don't really have to, if you think about it.
Right. Well, and even when you think about it, like, it's not even just like they're afraid to ask other parents. Sometimes, like, how many times we have a player that said, oh, my mom didn't know that we had a game. Like, they didn't mention, like, hey, I have a game this Saturday or this Friday or whatever. Or, hey, I have practice every day, which is insane.
And that's crazy. And some of them, I know personally that they don't tell their people. I don't know if they're scared to play in front of them or whatever the case may be. But that's why I tell them all the time, let your family know, man. You're doing a wonderful thing playing sports, man.
Right.
Let your family know. For anybody who ever plays sports, you know what it takes to just get ready for one game, let alone the actual season.
Right.
Practice is hell, man. You got so much running and conditioning. And if you play football, you got to hit. If you play basketball, you got to do this. Like, so much stuff goes into going through a season that you should be prideful in that. That's why I be telling them all the time, take pride in what y'all do. A lot of people cannot do what y'all do.
Yeah.
Playing football, a lot of people don't want to play football. Football is painful.
Well, and especially, like, we even have one kid that didn't get enough credits through homeschooling, and now he's got, like, the most heart on the team, but he's got to be on the sideline because he's not eligible.
Man, I wish everybody had his heart, man.
I know.
I wish everybody had his heart, because the guy want to play.
Yeah.
And it sucks that he's not playing, because like you said, you know for a fact he going to give you everything he got.
I was going to say, one game that he was able to play, right?
The first ever game.
Yeah, and he gave it all he had. Made a difference, too.
I'll give you everything he got, man.
This week's episode of Classroom Brew is brought to you by you. Well, it could be. If you've noticed on social media, we've been posting a lot of video clips with highlights from the podcast. If you would like to check out more of those video clips, or if you would like full-length episodes, then head on over to patreon.com/classroombrew. The hope is that if we can get a few people that feel like supporting the show, we can produce weekly video podcasts instead of just the highlight clips. So if you would like to be a patron or a supporter of Classroom Brew, go to patreon.com/classroombrew. That's patreon.com/classroombrew. Yeah, that was a sad one, but But yeah, I mean, it's weird that they don't. It's like there's no connection between what they're doing. Because like I don't know about you, but if my family came to watch me play, I ran just a little bit faster. I just somehow found a gear I didn't know I had.
Yeah, especially when you know you got somebody out there for sure. Like you said, when you know mom or even girlfriend or brother, like brother gonna talk about you at home, or all that kind of like. If you know you got somebody there, then like you say, you'll probably run a little fast. You probably die for that catch now.
Yeah.
Because now, everybody going to be talking about you now. Oh, good catch, good catch. You want that kind of stuff because that's why you put in all the damn hard work so you could get a good job at the end of the week. So you could get, damn, I didn't know you could do that.
Right.
That's the type of stuff you want.
Right. Now, I wonder, too, I mean, we had a pretty good turnout for, like, homecoming and stuff, but I wonder...
Oh, man, it was nice. It was nice.
Even, like, the principal, I mean, our AP, he's been in almost every single game now, which is nice, but I really hope with the last 2 games that we got now that it really starts to amp up a little bit, because I don't want them to, like, have an off season and then think, you know what, it's not for me, and then we got to start all over. That's my biggest fear, I guess.
I don't think it's going to happen like that. Like, I didn't talk to some guys who are already talking about next year.
That's good.
Yeah, I didn't talk to a couple guys who already say, man, I can't wait till next year. Oh, we going to win next year. Just little stuff like that.
That's good. That's all we need.
Right, they know for a fact, like, we got a couple games left in the season. Take some time off, heal your body. Let's get back to work.
Yeah.
About 4-5 months. Let's get back to work.
Right. Well, and especially because kids keep asking me, because I did that lift club last winter and stuff. They keep asking me, like, hey, are you going to do off-season lifting and stuff like that? And I guess now I got it. But do you have any, like, because I know you want to do baseball and stuff, but, like, what all between now and then next football season, what's your plan for, like, coaching? Because I know you want to eventually take the coaching thing to the next level. But at our school, what's, like, your 6-month plan for additional coaching opportunities?
Oh, well, hopefully. Would be nice to get one of these 2 wins. So hopefully that would be nice. But after that, honestly, I'm going to take a break, man. Yeah. Just take a break. It's one of those things like I feel like unless you rejuvenate and recharge, you're no good to nobody.
Sure.
So after we done with everything we got to do, I'm going to take a nice little break, probably like a month or something off, just get away from football, just to relax and you just be able to chill and just breathe a little bit.
Get home before 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Right, that would be nice. So after that, though, like you said, I got baseball or whatever that I'm going to get going. But really just still recruit. We got a lot of fresh kids, a lot of new kids who...
Yeah. For both sports, too, right?
Yeah. Who going to be more raw talent. Because I could tell a lot of them is just never played, or everybody, you hear about your family playing, or your cousin played, or my brother used to play. It's one of them. So we got a lot of kids like that who can do it. They just got to get the little extra push. So I'm always recruit. Want to have a lot of bodies out there next year. And just get them ready. Get them mentally ready. Stay focused on them. Stay focused on them grades. Gotta keep the grades up, because what is it? If you don't pass in
2 or more, or maybe it's 3, depending on IEPs.
If they fail 2 classes, I think from January to June, they're not even eligible to play football when we come back.
Right.
So mainly I got to stay on them in that little time frame, so they can know, dude, we need you. First of all, get your grades up, because I want you to graduate.
That's the number one thing.
Right, that's more important than anything. But playing sports, you got to have a certain amount, a certain GPA and all that as far as grades.
Right.
So that little break, all I'm going to do is just stay on them about their grades, get ready for conditioning and all that kind of stuff. And then next thing you know, honestly, it goes so fast, man. It ain't gonna
right back to the next sport.
Right, it's gonna be next thing you know, we're gonna practice for 2 months and look up, it's a game.
Right.
So it goes so fast.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. Welcome back to the moment segment. In this segment, this is where a teacher really got into a moment where they just thought, "Oh shit!" Well, last thing, because I know we got weeknight, we both got to get up early in the morning.
Yes.
I guess if you have like a moment, and like a oh shit moment, either as a coach or security member in our school, or maybe when you were working at the Y, and a moment where you just thought, oh shit, right before you had to actually deal with it.
So it's mainly with like fights. So it's one of those things like, I believe most kids are woofers. So woofers are just, people, they just talk a lot.
Sure.
They don't really do stuff.
Right.
But, like, I get a lot of old shit moments when I see the first punch.
Yeah, right.
Because I'll probably actually just be looking, let them argue, whatever. You this, you that, blah, 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 blah.
You're just monitoring.
Right. And then I'll, break it up or whatever. Mm-hmm. But when I'm looking and they pop, 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 I'm like, oh, shit. They fighting for real.
That's when they got all their energy, too, so they're real fast.
Right. So now I'm like, shit, I got to get down there. So them be my real old shit moments when the actual punches I throw. Because honestly, a lot of them, like I said, they just talk a lot of stuff. You know, they'll probably talk stuff on social media, whatever the case may be. But when they actually physically get into it, oh yeah, them all old shit moments. Because now you actually got to work hard.
Right. Yeah, you got tumbleweave on the ground. You got people screaming.
Right. And you got stuff all over the place. Right. You trying to break up kids fighting, so now you hope you don't get hit.
Yeah. Have you gotten? I got hit in the jaw towards the end of last year. It was Bert and myself, and there was like 10, 11 kids, and I got an accidental elbow right in my jaw as I was trying to get one kid off another. But
I don't know. I actually never got hit.
Really?
I never got hit.
Whew.
Yeah, I'm sure it's coming though. I get enough scuffles. I'm sure I was.
Where to begin? All right, so literally the day after this recording last week, and it's funny because Justin actually mentioned, like, man, did we jinx it or something like that? And I was like, man, I think we did. There was a fight that broke out in my classroom. Only one other adult was in the room, but she was a one-to-one, so she had to obviously take him out to a safe place. And so who's the lucky man that has to break up the fight between these two kids? Moi. And while that was going on, I usually go after the first kid just to kind of make sure I've got the weapons, which is, in this case, their hands secured so they don't keep punching. And as that happened, while I was trying to turn him away, the other kid in the fight threw a punch, and guess who it landed on? Also, moi. Now, granted, this is a kid that I have a very good relationship with. He apologized profusely after, but in my mind, I'm thinking, come on, man, I gotta be up in front of all these kids every single day. This face right here? It's the money maker. So yes, I did get a good apology, but I told him, like, come on, man, like, at least give me a chance. Like, I got both arms occupied. Let me duck and dive. Block it a little bit. Come on. So that gave him a little bit of a laugh just to kind of ease, just to kind of lighten the mood a little bit after he had to deal with all that stuff. And so he's doing great now. He's back in class. Things are still good. But yeah, that was a fun day. So hey, you might have noticed, Ryan isn't doing any video podcast highlights. I wonder why. Now you know. Actually, it wasn't really that bad. I did get a chance to turn briefly. Still wasn't very fun. And I had a few kids it was really kind of humbling, that came in throughout the day and they were like, hey, you all right? There's one kid that was like, see, I'm sick one day. This was the day after. I'm sick one day and this happens. I guess the plus side is I'm probably going to get the best behavior from this kid for the rest of the year. Not to mention a lot of other kids throughout the day were really cognizant that I probably had a headache, and so they did not test the waters. So that was fun. Just thought it was funny because it was really something we had just talked about. Justin and the rest of security and the officers that we have in the building, they came after I was able to get one of them out of the room. They got the other kid out of the room, and we just both kind of looked at each other and were like, man, you've got to be kidding me. After all that talking that we were saying, we're probably due for something. And then literally the next day, not even 12 hours later, that happens. So I guess hats off to my face. All right, back to the show.
Somebody, like you say, a little side elbow or something, trying to get up off somebody or something. I'm sure it'll come, but I never got hit. But yeah, all the moments is actual old shits because honestly, I never really think they're going to happen.
Right.
Like I say, right. I just think they talk a lot. You know, everybody getting arguments. You want to show you tough or you want to show you ain't no punk.
Right.
So it's one of those, but nobody, I say maybe 2 out of 5 actually fight. Mm-hmm. The other 3 times, they just talking loud.
I'm just so used to, like, because I came from working in a psychiatric hospital to come into our school now. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, this is nice. This is like way less incidents to worry about. Mm-hmm. So I'm almost surprised. Like, I have to ask the question. This is kind of ridiculous. I'll be like, are they actually fighting or are they just playing? Like, this is the first time I've had to ask that in a serious manner.
It's crazy because they play more than anything. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing, because you never truly know.
Right.
They was playing today. Like, they play every damn day. And then, when freshmen come in, they got to prove that they ain't punks. Mm-hmm. So now, sophomores who've been sophomores for 2 months now? You was as a freshman 4 months ago. But now sophomores, you got to prove that y'all ain't freshmen no more.
That's the worst.
Freshmen got to prove they ain't punks.
Right.
And, they ready for high school. So it's one of those things, like, 'cause that's what it was today. Sophomores versus freshmen. They playing in the hallway, talking crazy and all that type of stuff. So, yeah, you do got to ask yourself that. And we did have meetings and all, stuff about that. So, honestly, we just cut off the head.
Right. Well, I was just saying, like, it almost never doesn't escalate from playing to, like, oh, that one punch was too much. Now it's real.
And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
And that's why we tell them, stop playing there. That happened like 2-3 days ago. Mm-hmm. Somebody was playing. I guess he punched him for real or something like that, or he punched him hard enough. I ain't going to say for real, but he hit him hard enough. And next thing you know, the dude hit him in his mouth 3 times.
Jeez.
So that's why we tell them, stop playing like that.
Right.
Stop playing, man. And it's even worse because we got girls and boys.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Was that the case the other day?
No, it was 2 guys the other day, but they play more than anybody. So now you hope they don't get into a fight for real.
Yeah.
But you never know. People get mad. If you pull her hair too tight or smack on the behind or something like that, she probably didn't really want that for real. Mm-hmm. You was playing with her. So now she walking up on you screaming, not you screaming kind of thing. So playing, don't just even let them play at all, because it always most of the time leads to something else.
Well, and especially when you're talking about like a young man with a young woman, like you got to really make sure that nothing escalates. You got to also set the tone for the rest of their life. Dealing with women and treating them right.
And it's sad because these young kids, they like that stuff. It's weird. I ain't never like. They like the play fight and the actual pulling this and smacking that or choking. Like, they like that stuff. And it's unfortunate because they don't even know that that's actual abuse. Mm-hmm. They don't even know that that's actual real domestic violence. Mm-hmm. But they don't look at it like that because they young, they kids, so they don't think that. He was just playing with me.
They don't see the bigger picture.
Yeah, all right. And when he choke you out and you purple, what you gonna say? He was playing with you, huh? So it's one of them, like, it's sad because they don't get it yet. But like you said, you just got to be extra cautious with a girl and a boy. Right. Because you never know, like, what's the actual cutoff line for him or her.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's a mess, especially when you got kids with diverse trauma and experiences and things are going through.
Yeah. That's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
That's a whole different thing.
Well, Coach, hopefully we pull out, these last 2 games and... the team continues to be beneficial for the kids, keeping them out of trouble and all that good stuff. But I appreciate you coming on and taking time. I know we both got really busy schedules throughout the week, but I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, it's time for me to go back where I belong these days, which is the state of Indiana.
That's right. I forgot you got to commute out to.
Yeah. So I'm about to go back over there. But I appreciate it, man. It was real nice, man. He showed great hospitality. Gave me something to drink.
That's the staple of the podcast.
Yeah, made sure I wasn't have thirsty or dehydrated. So I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, man. Anytime, just let me know and I'll come back.
That'd be great. That'd be fun. Cool, man. Well, is there anything that you wanted to plug, like with anything coming up or social media or anything like that, or are you good?
I'm good. I'm moving shadows. I'm the type of person I like to stay in the back. I don't need to plug nothing. If you see me, you see me. If you don't, I probably left.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of my. That's when I leave at the end of the day. Aside from coaching, I just kind of Irish exit and I'm done.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. I let everybody else have the spotlight.
Right. All right, well, thank you again for being on. For everybody else, thank you for listening. Make sure you rate and review in whatever app you're listening to. Check out the social media Classroom Brew, where you can check out other great video podcast highlights. And potentially, if you guys check out patreon.com/classroombrew, we'll do full video podcast episodes. So until next week, I have no clue who's going to be on, but this was episodes 57 and 58. Thank you for listening, and as always, class dismissed.
I've been doing my thing. They telling us like hustle.